Beloved souls, today I speak to the deep truth already alive within you. Divine supply is infinite, and it flows toward you in perfect order. God's blessing is bringing you more money than you ever imagined, and it is happening now. This blessing does not come from struggle, worry, or fear. It comes through a calm, radiant faith that the universe is friendly and abundant, and that you are one with this unfailing supply. As you listen, picture a river of golden light flowing toward you, carrying everything you need and more. You are not asking for something distant or uncertain. You are simply accepting what is already yours by divine right. God's blessing is not a trickle. It is a mighty stream, always replenishing itself, always moving in your direction. There is no limit to what divine substance can manifest for you. Speak silently within yourself. All channels are open. All doors are wide. God's riches flow to me freely and endlessly. Feel how the vibration of this truth begins to change your atmosphere. Opportunities that once seemed hidden are revealed. Resources that once seemed scarce appear in perfect timing. People and circumstances align in your favor as easily as a flower turns toward the sun. Release every thought of lack, every old belief that money must come through toil, limitation, or struggle. The blessing of God carries no sorrow with it. It brings peace, ease, and fulfillment. When you let go of fear and clutching, your hands are open to receive. When you walk in the awareness of divine abundance, you magnetize wealth to you like iron to a magnet. Declare now, with unwavering conviction, that your income expands beyond all previous limits, that your life is filled with financial freedom, that your every need is met before you even speak it. Divine supply works through countless channels, not just one. If one stream seems blocked, 100 more are already flowing toward you. You are surrounded by God's favor, enfolded by divine order, and blessed with endless good. Each time you choose gratitude, you unlock another treasure house. Each time you choose faith over fear, you open another stream of supply. Each time you bless the money you have and the money on its way, you accelerate its flow. This is not wishful thinking, this is aligning with spiritual law. The same law that makes an acorn become an oak tree brings your seeds of thought into full, rich harvest. As you believe, so you receive. As you expect, so it appears. You are not trying to create abundance, you are simply stepping into it. God's blessing is already pouring down upon you like rain on a thirsty field. You need only lift your face, open your hands, and say, yes. Let that yes echo in your heart until it becomes a song of trust, until it feels more real than any circumstance. Money is not your master, it is your servant. It flows to you to fulfill divine purposes, to lift you, to expand you, to bless others through you. You are the steward of great riches, and you are safe in this stewardship, because it is founded upon spiritual principle, not material chance. What you receive in faith, you share in joy, and it multiplies again. Right now, in this very moment, invisible streams of income, gifts, and unexpected blessings are moving toward you. The channels are open. The doors are wide. The windows of heaven are pouring out a blessing so large you cannot contain it. Feel the truth of this and let it fill your whole being. The blessing of God is bringing you more money than you ever imagined, and you are ready to receive. Imagine standing before an infinite ocean of divine abundance, its shimmering surface reflecting every color of light, its depths without end. This ocean is God's blessing, ever flowing, ever giving, never running dry, and it is flowing directly toward you. It is not a trickle, not a small stream, but a mighty river of prosperity that transcends all earthly limitations. In this river, there is no struggle, no scarcity, no competition, only a constant supply that refreshes itself endlessly. The divine current carries to you everything you need for your highest good, including money, resources, opportunities, and support. The more you open your heart to it, the more it flows, because spiritual supply cannot be hoarded or measured. It multiplies when received in faith and gratitude. Picture yourself standing with open hands, allowing this golden current to pour into your life. It does not come from a single source, a single job, or a single person. It comes from the universal substance of life itself. God's blessing knows no boundaries or obstacles. If one door appears closed, 100 more open. If one path feels blocked, an infinite number of new paths emerge. This is the nature of divine supply. It cannot be obstructed by appearances. Every perceived limitation is only a shadow cast by an old belief. As soon as you align with the truth of abundance, the shadow dissolves and the light of supply floods in. This river of blessing carries with it more money than you ever imagined. Not because you are greedy, but because your consciousness has expanded beyond limitation. Money in this sense is not merely paper or numbers on a screen. It is a symbol of divine energy flowing into form, a tool to fulfill your purposes, a means for you to express your highest self and to bless others. When you embrace this understanding, you release guilt, shame, and fear around wealth. You see money as neutral, as a servant of good, as part of the universal order. In this way you are free to receive abundantly and to circulate freely, knowing the source can never run dry. As you attune yourself to the flow of God's blessing, your inner state begins to shift. Where there was once anxiety, there is now peace. Where there was once grasping, there is now open-handedness. Where there was once doubt, there is now a serene certainty that what you need will come. This inner transformation is the key that unlocks outer change. Money begins to arrive from expected and unexpected channels. Opportunities emerge seemingly out of nowhere. People offer you help, ideas, or partnerships at exactly the right time. Synchronicities become the norm rather than the exception. You start to feel carried by a benevolent tide, rather than struggling against a current. You can strengthen this flow by consciously affirming your connection to divine abundance. Simple statements of truth such as, "I am one with infinite supply," or, "God's blessings flow to me freely and endlessly," help to dissolve subconscious barriers and align your mind with spiritual law. Repeating these affirmations with feeling allows the vibration of truth to settle deep into your subconscious, where it begins to outpicture as conditions, events, and financial blessings in your life. The more you hold these thoughts, the more they become your reality. Gratitude acts as a magnet for this supply. Every time you give thanks for the money you have and the money on its way, you amplify its flow. Gratitude is like opening the windows wider to let in more sunlight. It shifts your focus from lack to sufficiency, from fear to trust, from struggle to ease. Each moment of sincere gratitude creates a ripple in the unseen world, drawing toward you more reasons to be grateful. By blessing the money you spend and the money you receive, you keep yourself aligned with the never-ending stream of God's abundance. Release all sense of competition or comparison. Divine supply is infinite, and no one can take what belongs to you by right of consciousness. In fact, the success of others can serve as a signal to your subconscious that abundance is possible for you as well. Celebrate their prosperity as evidence of the same law working everywhere. Know that as you rejoice in the good of others, you are tuning yourself to the same frequency of good. This releases envy and opens the floodgates to your own supply. Recognize that your wealth is not dependent on outer conditions. Recessions, job changes, market fluctuations, these are surface appearances. The real source of your abundance is spiritual and cannot be depleted by economic shifts. By holding fast to the inner, knowing that God's blessing is your supply, you stand on a foundation that is unshakable. Out of this stability, new ideas and opportunities will arise to meet every situation. Imagine your life infused with this consciousness. Your bank accounts reflect a steady and growing balance. Your work or business attracts increasing income. Unexpected gifts and financial windfalls arrive as pleasant surprises. Bills are paid with ease. Savings grow. Investments prosper. You have more than enough to meet your needs. Give generously and enjoy life fully. All of this happens not because you strive harder, but because you are aligned with the universal current of supply. Let your mind dwell on the image of this river of light, flowing constantly from the infinite to you. See yourself stepping into the stream, feeling it wash over you, carrying away every trace of fear or limitation. Feel the joy and relief of knowing you are supported, sustained, and supplied. Let this vision become more real to you than any temporary challenge or circumstance. As you continue to affirm and imagine this flow, your outer world reshapes itself to mirror your inner conviction. Every thought of abundance plants a seed in the fertile soil of divine mind. Every word of faith waters that seed. Every action taken in trust draws it closer to manifestation. Over time, you become a living demonstration of the truth that God's blessing brings more money than you ever imagined. This is not a one-time event, but an ongoing experience, a continual dance between the unseen and the seen, between spirit and form, between the infinite source and your individual life. You are not separate from this source. You are an expression of it. As a wave belongs to the ocean, so do you belong to the infinite. When you claim your inheritance as a child of divine abundance, you are simply stepping into what has been yours all along. The more you accept, the more you can share. The more you share, the more you receive, for giving and receiving are two ends of the same current. This creates a cycle of increase, a spiral of prosperity that expands without end. As you walk in this awareness, your relationship with money transforms from fear to trust, from grasping to flow, from scarcity to plenty. You begin to see that every dollar carries the vibration of divine energy, ready to accomplish good in your life, and in the lives of others. You become a wise steward of wealth, directing it toward purposes that uplift, heal, and expand. And in this stewardship, you find even greater supply flowing back to you. For spiritual law always multiplies what is given in faith and joy. Through this understanding, you realize that the world is not a place of lack, but a field of infinite possibility. You learn to expect good rather than fear the worst. You discover that the blessing of God is not distant but immediate, not conditional but constant, not limited but overflowing. Each day becomes an opportunity to receive and give, to affirm and embody abundance, to live as a channel for divine prosperity. Faith and gratitude are the invisible forces that open the unseen channels of divine supply and draw to you the financial blessings you have long desired. When you cultivate faith, you align your inner world with the spiritual truth that abundance already exists for you. Faith is not a vague hope or a wish, it is a living, vibrant knowing that what you desire is already present in the invisible, waiting to take form. It is the assurance that beyond appearances of lack there is a boundless reservoir of prosperity ready to flow into your life. This kind of faith acts like a magnet, drawing opportunities, people, and money toward you because your consciousness becomes an open and receptive vessel for divine provision. Imagine your faith as a beacon of light sending out a clear signal to the universe, a steady vibration that says you are ready to receive. When you hold this vibration, circumstances arrange themselves in your favor. Ideas come to you that lead to profit and growth. Conversations with the right people happen at exactly the right time. Resources you once thought were inaccessible suddenly appear within reach. The unseen channels are always there, but faith is what turns the key and opens the flow. Without faith, you may stand next to a river of abundance yet remain thirsty. With faith, you dip your cup into that river and drink deeply, knowing it will never run dry. Gratitude complements faith like two wings of the same bird. Gratitude acknowledges the abundance you already have, and blesses the abundance on its way. When you give thanks in advance for financial blessings yet to appear, you are affirming your trust in the invisible supply. This act of gratitude strengthens your faith, because it places your focus not on what is missing, but on what is coming. In doing so, you create a mental and emotional atmosphere conducive to receiving more. Gratitude is not passive, it is a powerful creative force. It says to the universe, I see the good. I welcome the good, I prepare for more good. Think of gratitude as opening the windows of your soul to let sunlight in. Even if it is cloudy outside, the act of opening the window allows the light that is available to pour through. Each moment of gratitude lifts you into a higher vibration where money, ideas, and opportunities naturally flow. By thanking the money you have, you infuse it with a higher energy that multiplies its usefulness and attracts more of its kind. Bless your bills as you pay them. Bless your wallet as you open it. Bless your bank account as you check it. This shifts your relationship with money from fear and resistance to appreciation and flow, creating a magnetizing effect. Faith and gratitude together create a self-reinforcing cycle. Faith sees the abundance even before it appears. Gratitude feels the abundance even as it is arriving. Faith opens the channels, gratitude keeps them open. Faith plants the seed, gratitude waters it. Faith says yes to the unseen, Gratitude says thank you as it comes into form. This cycle builds momentum, and soon your outer life begins to mirror your inner conviction. Money flows with greater ease, unexpected checks arrive, business grows, and new ventures succeed. This is not coincidence but the natural consequence of aligning your consciousness with divine supply. You can deepen your faith by cultivating daily practices that align your thoughts with spiritual abundance. Affirmations spoken aloud, visualizations of prosperity, and moments of quiet reflection all strengthen your connection to the unseen channels. When doubts arise, counter them with words of truth such as, God's wealth is my wealth now, or, infinite supply flows to me effortlessly. These affirmations replace fear with confidence and reprogram your subconscious to expect abundance rather than lack. Over time, your nervous system relaxes, your mind opens, and your creativity blossoms, all of which attract more opportunities for financial blessing. Gratitude also benefits from daily practice. Begin each day listing the financial blessings you already have, your income, your savings, the things money has brought into your life, and even the lessons learned from financial challenges. Then add to this list the blessings you expect to receive, thanking them in advance as though they were already here. This simple ritual shifts your mood, primes your mind to notice opportunities, and signals to the universe that you are ready for more. By closing your day with gratitude as well, you anchor your consciousness in appreciation and attract even more to be grateful for. Faith and gratitude help you transcend the common belief that money must be hard to earn, or that you must compete for limited resources. Divine supply is infinite, and when you believe in that infinity, you no longer fear missing out or losing what you have. Gratitude reinforces this by showing you evidence of abundance already present. Together they dismantle the mental blocks that keep money at a distance. As these blocks dissolve, money can flow naturally, without struggle or strain, because you are no longer resisting it with your beliefs. Visualize your financial life as a vast network of channels connected to an endless source. Some channels are visible: your job, your business, your investments. But many are invisible, waiting for you to activate them with your faith and gratitude. Perhaps there is a new client you have not yet met, a new idea you have not yet thought of, a new gift waiting to be given. Faith calls them forth, gratitude welcomes them in. The more you live in this state, the more channels open, and the more diverse and secure your financial flow becomes. Faith and gratitude also help you use money wisely when it arrives. Because you trust the source, you do not cling to money out of fear. Because you are grateful, you spend and give with joy. This creates a healthy circulation of wealth that returns to you multiplied. Just as the heart pumps blood through the body, your faith pumps money into your life, and your gratitude circulates it outward again, keeping it fresh and alive. This dynamic exchange ensures that you are always supported, always provided for, always blessed. In moments when appearances contradict your desires, faith holds the vision steady. You may see a temporary dip in income or an unexpected expense, but faith says this is a passing shadow, not the ultimate truth. Gratitude even in these moments acknowledges the hidden blessings, the lessons, the resilience, the chance to deepen your trust. And by doing so, you shorten the period of lack and hasten the return of plenty. In this way, faith and gratitude become your unshakable foundation, sustaining you through all seasons of financial life. As you cultivate faith and gratitude, you begin to feel richer even before your circumstances change. This inner richness attracts outer richness, because like attracts like. You radiate confidence, ease and joy, and people respond to that energy with opportunities, support, and financial generosity. Your decisions improve because they are guided by trust rather than fear. You become more creative, resourceful, and magnetic. Your life begins to feel like a dance with abundance rather than a battle with scarcity. Ultimately, faith and gratitude align you with the spiritual law of increase. Whatever you focus on with feeling expands. By focusing on the good you have and the good on its way, you multiply it. By trusting the unseen, you allow it to manifest. This is the essence of opening the channels of divine supply, a practice of inner alignment that leads to outer blessing. Each thought of faith and each moment of gratitude is a step toward a life overflowing with financial abundance, A life in which money flows easily, opportunities abound, and every need is met with grace. Releasing fear, doubt, and limitation is the key to allowing money to flow with ease and joy, because every fearful or doubtful thought is like a stone placed in the river of your prosperity. When you hold on to fear about your finances, you constrict the flow of divine supply, but when you let go even slightly, the current begins to move freely again. Imagine a stream clogged with debris, sticks, leaves, stones, and picture yourself removing them one by one. As each obstruction is lifted, the water moves more swiftly and clearly. This is how your consciousness works. When you release the mental and emotional blocks of fear and doubt, your financial life becomes a clear channel for the infinite to express itself through you. Fear creates tension, and tension disrupts receptivity. Doubt creates confusion, and confusion blurs opportunities. Limitation creates smallness, and smallness attracts only more of itself. When you decide to let these energies go, you open the door to a completely different experience of money. Instead of clutching and worrying, you begin to trust and allow. Instead of expecting bills and shortages, you begin to expect surplus and blessings. This shift in expectation is not narv, it is powerful, because your expectations act as instructions to the universe. What you expect consistently becomes your experience. To release fear, start by recognizing that it is only a thought, not a truth. Fear about money often arises from past experiences, family conditioning, or societal messages that equate money with struggle. These fears can feel very real, but they are not permanent. They are patterns of energy that can be dissolved and replaced with new patterns of confidence and abundance. The simple act of breathing deeply, affirming your connection to infinite supply, and imagining yourself surrounded by safety and provision begins to weaken the grip of fear. Over time, the fearful thought loses its power and is replaced by a calm inner knowing that all is well. Doubt is another subtle barrier. It often masquerades as realism or caution, but underneath it is a lack of trust in the divine order. Doubt says, "I don't know if it will happen," or "I can't be sure the money will come." When you entertain these thoughts repeatedly, you create a vibration of uncertainty, and the universe mirrors that back to you. To release doubt, you must cultivate certainty, not in a particular channel or outcome, but in the principle of abundance itself. Remind yourself daily that supply is infinite and can come from countless directions. Affirm that the universe is friendly, that life supports you, that money flows to you in perfect timing. This strengthens your inner confidence, making you magnetic to opportunities and resources. Limitation is perhaps the most deeply ingrained of the three. Limitation whispers that there is only so much to go around, that you can only earn so much, that your dreams are too big. This belief compresses your receiving power. When you release limitation, you expand your capacity to receive. Start by questioning every can't or only statement about money. Ask yourself, what if there's another way? What if more is available? What if the universe has surprises in store for me? This kind of questioning loosens the mental walls that keep abundance out. As you loosen those walls, new ideas, people, and channels of supply begin to appear. A practical way to release these blocks is through forgiveness. Forgiving yourself for past financial mistakes. Forgiving others for any real or imagined wrongs around money. Forgiving life itself for any periods of hardship. Forgiveness clears the emotional clutter that often keeps money from flowing easily. Holding on to resentment or guilt ties up your energy and creates subconscious self-punishment that blocks prosperity. By releasing these feelings, you free your energy to attract and enjoy greater wealth. Visualization can also help. Picture your financial life as a flowing river of golden light. See any dark patches as simply clumps of old beliefs or fears. In your mind's eye, dissolve them with light, allowing the current to become smooth and strong. As you do this repeatedly, your subconscious mind begins to accept a new pattern. Money flows to you easily, freely, and joyfully. This image becomes a blueprint that your outer life will begin to match. Another key practice is replacing negative self-talk about money with positive affirmations. Whenever you catch yourself thinking, "Money is hard to get," or "I'll never get ahead," pause and replace it with, "Money flows to me with ease and joy," or I am open and receptive to infinite supply. Over time, these new statements overwrite the old programming and establish a new default expectation. Because your words carry vibration, speaking abundance trains your entire energy field to resonate with it. Letting go also means releasing control over the how and when of your money. Fear, doubt, and limitation often manifest as micromanaging the universe, demanding that your abundance come in a specific form or on a specific timeline. True allowing is knowing that your part is to stay aligned with the feeling of abundance, while the universe handles the details. This relaxation opens doors you could never plan or predict. It also allows you to recognize opportunities that would have been invisible if you were tense or fearful. As you continue releasing fear, doubt, and limitation, you will notice physical changes as well. Your body feels lighter, your breath deeper, your heart calmer. This physiological shift is not trivial. It reflects your nervous system moving from survival mode to creation mode. In this state, your creativity expands, your intuition sharpens, and your natural magnetism increases. People sense your ease and are drawn to you. Opportunities flow because you have become a clear and open channel. You can also reinforce this process by surrounding yourself with supportive environments. Uplifting books, affirming conversations, serene spaces. Your surroundings influence your subconscious, so choose symbols of abundance, beauty, and ease. Declutter your home or workspace as a physical metaphor of clearing away limitation. Each action you take in the physical world reinforces the inner shift, signaling to the universe that you are ready for a freer flow of prosperity. As fear dissolves, you begin to experience money as a friend rather than an adversary. You stop chasing it and start welcoming it. You no longer feel pressured to grab or hoard, because you trust that more is always coming. This shift creates a natural generosity, and generosity itself increases your abundance, because giving and receiving are two aspects of the same flow. By sharing with others, you affirm that you have enough and more than enough, which magnetizes even more to you. Your relationship with challenges also changes. Instead of interpreting a temporary setback as a sign of doom, you see it as an opportunity to release deeper fears and strengthen your trust. You view delays not as denials but as part of divine timing. This relaxed attitude keeps your energy field open so money and opportunities can still find their way to you, even in times of uncertainty. Releasing fear, doubt, and limitation is not about ignoring reality, but about choosing a higher reality to focus on. It is about acknowledging that while challenges exist, they do not define your ultimate supply. It is about understanding that the universe is far bigger than any temporary circumstance, and that your inner state determines your experience of the outer world. By maintaining a steady inner alignment, you transform how life responds to you. Over time, this practice becomes second nature. Fear loses its grip, because you have learned to return quickly to trust. Doubt dissolves because you have seen enough evidence of divine timing. Limitation disappears because you have experienced firsthand that money can arrive in ways you never imagined. This living experience builds an unshakable confidence, and from this confidence flows a steady, joyful, abundant financial life that continues to grow and expand as you do. Divine supply works through countless channels, not just one, and this understanding opens the mind to an entirely new experience of prosperity. When you believe that your income, your opportunities, or your blessings can only come from a single source, you create an artificial bottleneck for abundance. This limited perspective ties your well-being to the success or stability of one job, one client, one business, or one investment. But divine supply is infinite and creative. It is not bound to the visible forms you know today. It moves through people, ideas, opportunities, and circumstances you have never yet imagined. As soon as one channel closes, countless others are already forming, waiting for your awareness to recognize and receive them. This is the security that comes from spiritual understanding. The knowledge that no matter what happens in the outer world, the inner source remains inexhaustible. Imagine a great sun at the center of existence radiating beams of light in every direction. Each beam represents a channel through which divine supply can reach you. A new opportunity, a new relationship, a new client, a new idea, an unexpected gift, an investment, a creative project, or even a seeming coincidence. When you open to the infinite nature of supply, you stop clinging to one ray of light and begin welcoming the whole sun. This openness allows you to receive far more than you could through any single channel. It frees you from fear and attachment, because you know your good does not depend on a particular person, job, or situation. In the physical world, you see channels like paychecks, sales, contracts, or investments. These are simply the visible forms of an invisible flow. The mistake many people make is confusing the form with the source. They see their paycheck as the source of their abundance, rather than as one temporary conduit for the source to express itself. This misunderstanding leads to anxiety and a sense of scarcity because if the form changes, they believe the supply is gone. In reality, the supply remains intact. It will simply find another channel. By remembering this, you eliminate fear when circumstances shift, because you know you are connected to an infinite resource that cannot be diminished. When you embrace the idea of countless channels, you become more intuitive and flexible. Instead of trying to force prosperity through one door, you remain open to new doors. You begin to notice opportunities that once went unseen. You receive inspired ideas to create new income streams. People appear seemingly out of nowhere to offer support or collaboration. The universe responds to your openness with creativity and generosity, multiplying your avenues of wealth. This diversification is not only practical but spiritual, because it mirrors the infinite diversity of life itself. Gratitude plays a vital role in this process. Each time you give thanks for the channels already working in your life, you invite more to appear. Gratitude affirms your trust that the source is infinite and capable of reaching you in limitless ways. By blessing every form of income, from the smallest gift to the largest payment, you maintain a positive vibration that magnetizes new channels. You also release envy and competition, because you understand that someone else's success does not diminish your own supply. In fact, their success can be evidence of another potential channel for you. Visualize your prosperity as a great network of streams feeding into a reservoir. Some streams are small, others are large, but together they keep the reservoir full and overflowing. If one stream dries up temporarily, others continue to flow and new ones can form. This visualization shifts your subconscious mind from a sense of dependence to a sense of abundance. It helps you relax and allow money to come in diverse ways, rather than clinging to the familiar. Over time, your outer life mirrors this inner flexibility, and you find yourself with multiple sources of income, unexpected gifts, and continual opportunities for growth. This understanding also transforms how you approach your current channels. Instead of feeling trapped or resentful, you can appreciate each channel for what it is while remaining open to more. This appreciation keeps the energy around your current channels healthy and flowing, which often leads to their expansion. At the same time, your openness to new channels prevents stagnation and invites growth. You become a living demonstration of the principle that as one door closes, many more open. Letting go of the belief in one channel also relieves pressure. When you think your well-being depends on a single source, you may feel desperate or overattached, which can actually repel abundance. By trusting the infinite, you relax. And in that relaxation you become more magnetic to good. This is why some people suddenly attract new opportunities after losing a job or making a major change. The collapse of one channel frees up their energy and attention to recognize and accept new ones. When you learn to do this proactively through spiritual understanding, you do not have to wait for a crisis to expand your channels. You simply live in openness and trust. Affirmations can reinforce this state of mind. Statements such as, "Divine supply flows to me through countless channels," or, "I am open and receptive to new and unexpected sources of income," help you internalize this truth. Repeating these affirmations with feeling reprograms your subconscious mind to expect multiple avenues of support, making it easier for the universe to deliver through them. The more you affirm and believe this, the more evidence you will see in your outer life. You can also take practical steps to reflect this belief. Explore new skills, ideas, or collaborations. Follow intuitive nudges even if they seem small at first. Pay attention to recurring themes or opportunities that arise in your life. They may be signals of new channels forming. Trust your inner guidance to direct you toward the channels that are aligned with your highest good. By combining inner openness with outer action, you create fertile conditions for abundance to express itself in diverse ways. Another benefit of recognizing countless channels is the sense of security it brings. Instead of feeling vulnerable to the loss of one income stream, you feel anchored in an infinite source. This security allows you to take healthy risks, invest in your growth, and share your wealth with others, knowing that more is always coming. This generosity in turn activates spiritual law, bringing more back to you in a continuous cycle of giving and receiving. Think of nature as a mirror for this principle. A tree draws nutrients from countless roots spread widely beneath the soil. If one root encounters a rock, the tree simply grows others to reach new areas of nourishment. In the same way, your prosperity draws from many unseen roots in the fertile ground of divine supply. By trusting this process, you free yourself from fear and become as steady and resilient as the tree, growing ever upward and outward with each season. As you deepen your trust in divine supply working through countless channels, your creativity expands. You begin to see how your talents, interests, and experiences can combine in new ways to generate income or blessings. You might discover new markets for your skills, new audiences for your work, or new partnerships that enrich you both financially and spiritually. You realize that prosperity is not static but dynamic, constantly evolving and adapting to your growth. Finally, embracing the principle of countless channels reshapes your identity. You no longer see yourself as a passive recipient, waiting for one source to provide. You see yourself as a co-creator with the universe, participating in an endless exchange of energy. You move from a mindset of scarcity and dependency to one of abundance and empowerment. This shift is profound because it places you in harmony with the very nature of life, ever expanding, ever multiplying, ever creative. From this state, money and blessings flow naturally and consistently, not as isolated events but as a steady, joyful stream reflecting your alignment with infinite supply. Money is a sacred tool for fulfilling divine purpose, blessing you and others through its flow, and when you begin to see money in this light, you transform your relationship with it completely. Instead of perceiving it as something to chase, hoard, or fear losing, you recognize it as a neutral energy moving through your life to accomplish good. This perspective frees you from guilt, shame, and limitation around wealth. It lifts you into a sense of stewardship and partnership with the divine, where you become a channel for resources to flow into the world in uplifting, creative, and benevolent ways. By regarding money as sacred, you elevate its vibration, and it naturally multiplies and circulates with greater ease. Imagine holding a coin or a note and feeling its energy, not just its material value but its symbolic power as a form of universal energy. Each unit of money represents a fragment of divine substance shaped into form, so that it can flow and circulate, facilitating exchange, growth, and expansion. When you see money this way, every transaction becomes a spiritual act, an opportunity to express trust, gratitude, and generosity. You stop fearing the outflow because you understand it is part of an eternal cycle. As money leaves, it creates space for more to come. As you give, you prime the flow to return multiplied. This sacred perspective also reframes the purpose of money in your life. Rather than using it merely to survive or accumulate, you begin to use it as a tool to support your highest calling. You ask, how can my money express my values? How can it help me grow, create, or serve? How can it uplift my family, my community, and the world? This approach aligns your financial decisions with your spiritual principles, which increases the flow because money thrives where it is honored and directed with clear intent. Money that is appreciated, blessed, and purposefully used tends to grow and attract more of its kind. As you honor money as sacred, you dissolve the subconscious conflicts that keep it away. Many people secretly believe that wanting or having money is selfish or unspiritual. This hidden belief creates inner tension and self-sabotage, making it difficult to accumulate or retain wealth. By recognizing that money is simply a tool, and that its moral quality depends on how it is used, you free yourself from these outdated notions. You understand that wealth in the hands of a conscious, loving person can do immense good, and you allow yourself to become that person. Begin by blessing the money you already have. Each time you receive income, pause and acknowledge its sacred role. Thank it for the comfort, opportunities, and freedom it brings. When you spend, do the same. Bless the transaction and affirm that it circulates back to you multiplied. This practice turns ordinary financial activity into a meditation, infusing your money with high vibration and intention. Over time, this creates a magnetic field around your finances that attracts more prosperity and aligns it with your divine purpose. Seeing money as sacred also enhances your creativity and courage. You are no longer motivated solely by fear of lack, but inspired by a vision of what your resources can accomplish. You begin to think bigger, invest in your growth, support causes that matter to you, and create projects that benefit others. This expansive attitude mirrors the universe itself, which is always expanding. In doing so, you create conditions for even more wealth to flow to you, because spiritual law supports that which uplifts and expands. When you align money with divine purpose, you also naturally shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Scarcity says there is only so much, so hoard and protect. Abundance says there is more than enough for everyone, so circulate and share. This shift frees you from fear and opens new channels of prosperity. It also creates a positive ripple effect in the world, because every dollar you direct toward good amplifies that good. Your spending becomes a form of voting for the kind of world you want to see. And your giving becomes a seed that returns a harvest. Your perception of yourself changes as well. Instead of seeing yourself as a consumer or a debtor, you begin to see yourself as a steward and co-creator. You are entrusted with resources to manage wisely and joyfully. This sense of stewardship brings a natural discipline and respect for money without falling into fear or rigidity. You spend thoughtfully, save intentionally, and give generously. These habits reinforce the flow, because money responds to clarity, respect, and purpose. Visualize your financial life as a garden in which money is both the soil and the water that nurtures your dreams. As you plant seeds of purpose and water them with intention, money flows in to nourish their growth. Some of this money you harvest and enjoy, some you reinvest to grow new things, and some you give away to enrich the ecosystem beyond your garden. This image reflects the dynamic, living nature of sacred wealth, which grows, circulates, and multiplies in harmony with the divine order. Sacred money also invites sacred receiving. Many people are more comfortable giving than receiving. Yet receiving is just as important, because it completes the circuit. When you see money as a blessing meant to flow through you, you allow yourself to accept it freely, knowing it will be used for good. You drop the guilt or hesitation around receiving, and instead welcome it as an affirmation of the universe's trust in you. This open-hearted receiving increases your capacity and draws even more resources to you. Forgiveness can play an important role here as well. By forgiving yourself for any past missteps with money, and forgiving others for any perceived wrongs, you clear energetic blockages that might restrict the flow. Forgiveness restores innocence and openness, allowing fresh currents of abundance to enter. It also dissolves any unconscious vows of poverty, struggle, or unworthiness you may have picked up from your upbringing or culture. As these vows dissolve, your natural state of prosperity emerges, and money can fulfill its sacred role in your life. One powerful practice is to dedicate a portion of your income to giving. This could be tithing, donating, or simply sharing in ways that feel meaningful. Doing so anchors your money in the flow of circulation and signals to the universe that you are a trustworthy steward. It also brings joy because you witness your money doing good in the world, which reinforces your sense of abundance. Giving is not about depleting yourself, but about expanding the current so that more can flow through you. As you work with money as a sacred tool, you develop an intuitive sense of guidance. You may feel nudged to make an investment, start a business, or help someone in need. These intuitive impulses are often the channels through which the divine directs your wealth for maximum blessing. By following these nudges, you align your financial actions with divine wisdom, which tends to produce success and fulfillment beyond what you could plan intellectually. Ultimately, treating money as sacred transforms your entire experience of life. It removes fear and guilt, replacing them with trust and joy. It dissolves competition and comparison, replacing them with cooperation and generosity. It turns ordinary transactions into opportunities for blessing, and ordinary resources into instruments of divine purpose. It allows you to stand in a continual flow where money comes, circulates, and multiplies under the guidance of Spirit. It makes you a conscious participant in the great dance of giving and receiving, a steward of resources, and a channel of blessing to the world.